What do you think about people posting their clips on the internet before it's worked out material?
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I don't think that it serves them at all. You know, I think that like I would have control of my. I've never clipped a stand-up, but when I do my special for Hulu coming soon,
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. That I will clip those out because I've been working on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these younger comics that are doing fucking crowd work for their thing, yeah, it's just like write a joke.
Yeah.
What do you think of that crowd work?
You know,
okay,
the crowd work is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean,
yeah.
You know when I came up, you wanted to not have to involve the crowd. You worked on your act, and I'll tell you a story. Do you know who Eddie Strange or Ross Bennett? Ross Bennett is Eddie Strange. So this guy had a character, Eddie Strange, from San Francisco. Really funny, man. His name was Ross Bennett. He'd do this Eddie Strange character. So we were in Hawaii. We were at the Officers Club in Honolulu, and it was really kind of rowdy. And the first guy goes, "I'm going to go up there and I'm going to do 15." He did like 8. And I was supposed to do half an hour. I did like 12.
Wow.
Right? There was a fucking terrible audience. I mean, terrible audience to say. And that dude went up there and did his act and got a standing ovation.
Wow.
And the next day in the hotel, I said, "Hey, man, how did that happen last night? What happened?" He goes, "Well, you guys went up there. You were talking to the crowd. You were trying to fucking latch on to something and run with it."
Yeah.
He goes, "I trust my act so much that I just did my act, and I knew that it was going to take care of me."
Damn.
And from that day forward, I fucking stopped fucking around with the audience.
Yeah.
I went and got some 3x5 cards, and I put my shit in the list. I was really not excited about doing stuff in a list.
Yeah.
And then it changed the way I did stand-up and changed the way the reaction is. But also leave room to fuck around in there too.
Yeah.
But I never went up there and just trying to shoot at the hip and try to fucking land something. No.
No.
So that advice was great advice that I got.
Because at times maybe it will work, right? But the times that it doesn't, you lose them. You will lose them.
You'll lose them.
Yeah. Would you have you ever done this? And I did this a couple of weeks ago, and I feel kind of bad about it, but I really don't. But is I had to kind of scold my feature a little bit because he went up. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who he is, and I love him. He's still gonna work for me, but he went up and did 20 minutes of crowd work before me.
Yeesh,
Right. So
20
then,
minutes?
yeah. So then, when I went up, they were talkative because what it does is opens up in their minds. The audience thinks, "Oh, we can talk to them," right? And I struggled a little bit. I mean, I still got them, but it was like tough, you know. And I told them, I go, "Don't fucking talk to them." I mean, would you ever scold a feature?
Yeah, of course.
You've done it before.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, don't do this. Or-
Don't go over the time. That's
Yes.
fine.
That's
Don't go
a
over the
huge
time
one.
and don't talk to the audience.
Yeah. That's a huge one over time. It just.
Especially if it's your guy. Your guy's there to set the table up, tee it up or whatever. But to go in the audience and then for 20 minutes would be like, no, can't do that.
What back in the day when you did clubs and stuff, and they gave you a feature or an opener, did you ever yell at them or no? Sometimes you go to a club, right, and you know what I mean, you're like, a mid-table comic, so you're just like, I want to save some money, I'll go, and then the local comics will go before me, but you don't know them at all. You don't know their acts. You know what I mean? You don't even know if your audience will like them or whatever. Like, and then like you see them, you're like, oh no, you know what I mean? And if I had to say stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you?
I was pretty lucky. I had pretty good guys, but also I would probably say when I started doing clubs and traveling in the 80s, that wasn't an issue. There wasn't thousands of people out there either. So you kind of got an idea of who was out there. And then when I started to headline the clubs, I started to take my own guys. And
Yeah.
Once, what? We laughing, but I haven't said anything yet.
I know.
But
Before you say what you're saying, I swear to God, let you say what you're saying.
Okay.
But just come in with some confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, but-
it's like once like the new audience, like on the internet, they see a bunch of comedians doing crowd work. They go to comedy shows now thinking, oh, we can talk to them, even though like that's not the audience.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Bobby?
He doesn't use a lot of words, but he fucking get out there.
Yeah.
No, he's right. He's right.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of guys that went viral recently. Can't name names, but and they made it through crowd work because obviously, they probably filmed 30 shows, and then one of the shows it's really working. They put that clip up, right? And it's like, I never really thought about that, but I suppose that would affect club comedy or just comedy in general. But I don't know. I've never, I haven't really witnessed a lot of heckling.
Listen, if you're doing a fucking arena and you're doing crowd work in an arena, you don't belong in the fucking arena, to tell you the truth.
Right, yeah, dude.
Because it's too big.
Yeah.
And screens or whatever, somebody's looking down. They no one, even when you're in a bigger theater, you can't see the people in front. So you feel like you're watching through glass or something.
Yeah,
you can't figure out what they're talking to. So at some point you're gonna have to have material. It's just not gonna fly. It's almost like the wave of sitcom or the wave of fads or the wave of the stock market. It's what people are into, and then it's going to be what people aren't into.
Yeah.
And where are you going to be when people aren't into it?
Oh, right. It is a fad, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you what's your perfect amount of people to perform in front of? Because I've done a couple of gigantic, like I did a show with Segura and Bird and Shane Gillis in Vegas. It was like 18,000.
Yeah.
And I hated it. You know what
You
I mean?
did?
I didn't hate it because it's like there was no heckling, and it's like, it was a theater and a round too, so I didn't know where to turn. You know what I mean? I would do like this Michael Jackson, and I would turn around and I would turn like this. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to do, right? Yeah. And then it's like, it was kind of a blur. I got off, and I think Kimmel was there. Jim was like, great job, whatever, right? But I didn't feel like I connected really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 is good. Not that I just do clubs right now, but
Were you nervous to go up?
What?
Were you nervous to go up in front of that many people?
No, I had done it before. You know what I mean? But it's like what?
I'm just asking you a question.
One time I got booed off the stage in front of 20,000 people.
Oh,
20 years ago.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
It was called the Doghouse Comedy Jam up
in
north.
San Francisco.
Yeah. And it was like I had to follow Leslie Jones when she was young, and she dry humped this white kid in the crowd.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Yeah, and you could hear the stadium rattle.
Yeah.
And I walked up there 2 minutes in, I was getting booed off stage.
And that's crowd shit too. I mean that.
Yeah.
That's all like
Yeah.
If you were a headliner, you wouldn't want to have a comedian humping somebody from the audience before you went out. It would not be your fucking ideal situation.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing harder than following Brad Williams twerking at the Ice House,
Oh, right.
It's like, oh, shit, I got to go up there and talk about.
Unless you're closing. If you're closing, do whatever you fucking
You're closing,
want.
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You earned it.
Yeah.
You're closing, you earned it.
But in some of those, like, all-star comedy jams, and you're like with 12 other great comedians.
And I get it if you're going up there to have to kill, you got to do what you got to do to kill. But
what,
bro?
It's like you rarely do stand-up, but you have so much knowledge.
It's the Adderall.
You're doing this TV thing, and it's like,
What are you talking about?
But I see.
Oh, so you don't do stand up that much?
Once
Because
a
you're
week.
busy working
Once a
on
while.
it?
Yeah. But you know what?
I also just think I don't want to burn out.
Right.
I want a perspective.
It's great, dude.
This guy.
don't wanna
You know
burn
what?
out.
Bruce Lee says, I want to be like. You have to be like water. You know what I mean? That's what you're doing. You're being like water right now, and I want you to hit the dam.